Hello, welcome to second semester. I'm going to make this video for both Honors Algebra 2 and Algebra 2. Anybody that's taking it online. The courses are a little different. Obviously, we go a little faster in the one than the other. But as far as the nuts and bolts of it are the same for both. So I'm going to kind of make sure we're all clear on all those things. A lot of you guys I did have first semester. So to be honest, not much changing, but I want to make sure you're just clear on some of the things to help you be successful. So if you did great first semester, awesome. If you would have liked to have done better, I'm going to give you some tips and things that you can definitely do to make sure that you're on the right track. So the syllabus will be posted on here, your Google Classroom. You can go through it. I really haven't changed anything. Some of it doesn't necessarily apply because you're online or whatever. But the biggest thing really is to keep in mind this grade weighting piece, which is just to make sure that you understand that assignments count for a very small percentage of your overall grade, 10% overall. But they're pretty crucial to make sure you know what's going on. Quizzes 40%, tests 50%. So your big money stuff are your quizzes and your tests. You want to make sure you can do well on those. In the same regards, the quizzes, I will always post a retake for them a couple days after we've taken it. Usually I'll go over the original quiz, kind of just talk to you about common mistakes, stuff people did, so you can take the retake if you want to. With the assignments, the thing I noticed, and this is, I would say, probably pretty close to 100% true, is the students that did all of their assignments, like daily, were really successful in the class. The students that were less successful were ones that either didn't do them at all, or they'd wait 2 weeks and try to cram through like 6 of them in an hour, which is, you're probably not really understanding if you're doing that. And that's kind of the thing. And so if I could tell you one thing to do to try to make this as easy and to be as successful as possible, the one thing would be to just do your assignments daily. Set yourself a schedule, whether you're full virtual or whether this is just one of your 2 online classes, have a time that you do your math class. Because our just general kind of rundown of what class looks like, just kind of pick a sort of average day. This is last year's classroom or last semester's classroom. But basically, they're always going to start off with a little README first. That kind of gives you the layout of the day. Let you know if you got any quizzes coming up, tests, whether major stuff coming out. The warm-up. I have no idea if you watch the warm-up, if you do the warm-up, if you have anything to it. It is purely to help you understand the main concepts. Every warm-up I pick is a main concept that's either on a quiz or on a test. I could almost make the argument that if you only watched and paid attention to the warm-ups, you'd probably pass the class with like an 85%. If you really made sure you understood those. So if you're a person that skipped those or you don't pay much attention to those, you're hurting yourself pretty bad. So try the problem, watch me go through it, and if you do that, that'll make a big difference in your understanding. Then I'll have a little notes video. These usually range from 5 to about, probably 14 minutes is probably the longest they ever really go. Just going over whatever the examples are for that day, the material. Then there'll be some sort of assignments. Usually I call them OTIs for opportunity to improve. And I've definitely figured out like the amount and best way to give those to you. Usually I like to keep them between about 5 and 10 problems, depending on what we're doing. Sometimes a little more if it's like more of a skills-based thing. The other thing to keep in mind with those is you can do practice problems. And so I think most people know this already, but if you don't, when you do a problem, you can click try a similar problem. Or if you get the problem wrong, but you're like, oh, I know what I did wrong now, I could fix that. There's a little button that you can click that'll let you, if I can get through it here, that'll let you repeat the problem with different numbers. Not every single one of those has it, but most of them do. So I'll pull that up and I'll show it to you once I get it here. But that's kind of a real key. And I notice some of you guys that are doing really well do that. I see people getting 100% on a lot of the assignments because I know you're like, oh, I missed a problem. You go back, you fix it, you understand it, and you're way less likely to make that mistake on the quiz, the test, the whatever. All right, what do I want here? Sorry, preview. Okay. So if you're looking at doing an assignment, this was 1-5 from whatever class. Once you're into it, your internet probably works as sweet as mine does. Under this little question help thing, you can view an example that's like it. Once you've completed the problem, it'll even let you do, sorry, let's go to one that will let you do this. Little videos there, that's why I can't click it. Okay. All right. So let's pick one that's like a type in answer one, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so something like this. So let's say you get this problem wrong. Check answer. It's wrong. Gives you some information. Check answer. It's wrong. You did your final check. You get it wrong. You can click this button right here to literally just redo the problem, and it'll, if you've read through that stuff, you can do it, and it'll notice it changes the problem once you click that, and now you can get 100% on that problem once you figure out how to do it. You can also click the help me solve this, and it'll give you hints. You can click the view an example, where it'll take a problem like it, and as you click continue, it'll walk you through like step by step by step by step how to do it. These are the moves that if you're doing them, you can really learn the material. If you're doing the assignment in like 8 minutes and getting a 10% on it, then I know you're not doing any of that stuff, and that's one of the reasons why you're probably kind of hurting in the class. So put the time in and do those things, and you can really do a good job with this. Last little things I wanted to address is with quizzes, you can retake them. Usually I'll post it. I'll put it up for about a day or two kind of window to take the quiz. If you don't take it, I'll lock it out, and then I'll post the retake, and that's the one that you can take if you miss the deadline. But again, you should really be trying not to miss your deadlines. Those are the things that I notice just students tend to do poorer and poorer and poorer the more they kind of let it build up or put it behind or whatever. And I get getting like a day or so behind and getting caught up there. That's not a big deal, but it's the 2 to 3 weeks behind, and then it becomes really difficult to know what's going on. So that's that big tip. Last thing is just whenever you have trouble with something, you have questions on something, email me or put a comment on the assignment. Say, hey, I don't understand this part of this question. And one thing some students have been doing, which is a really smart move, is when they get a problem like this that they don't know how to do, they'll screen grab it. Use a capture whatever type tools, just print screen it. Any of those, a bunch of different options you can use. The little snip tool that's on your Chromebooks. Any of those things, you just take a little picture of the problem, send it to me in an email, say, hey, I didn't know what to do on part A of this problem, or I didn't know how to get this in this form. Then I can really clearly answer your question. Avoid the email that just says, I don't get any of this stuff, because that isn't, like, I can't help you because I don't know what you're talking about. But if you ask any specific questions, I can definitely help figure out what's going on. I can either explain it to you in words, can make a little video for you, whatever. But I don't know unless you let me know what you don't know. So take advantage of stuff and communicate with me and make sure you're doing a good job. So those are kind of the things I kind of noticed from first semester. So let me know, and hopefully things go smoothly this year. Good luck.